you ever feel like you are screaming underwater, but no one can hear you? Not just ignored, not just unlucky, but unheard in a way that makes your chest tighten like a vice, like the universe itself has placed an invisible barrier between you and your prayers, like you're shouting into a void that doesn't even echo back. I know that feeling. I've felt the weight of it pressing down on me, like a boulder, the kind that makes your shoulders ache with exhaustion even before the sun rises, the kind that turns your mind into a foggy maze where every step forward feels like pushing through thick syrup. You wake up in the middle of the night with your heart pounding, wondering why God seems so silent when you've given everything to be good, to work hard, to believe. You've tried everything, you've prayed until your knees ached, you've worked late nights into exhaustion. You've begged the universe for a sign, for a break, for something, anything to prove that your efforts aren't in vain. But no matter what you do, life keeps feeling like you're running on a hamster wheel, spinning faster, but never getting anywhere. The harder you push, the more the world pushes back. And the worst part, you blame yourself. You think maybe you're not praying right. Maybe you don't have enough faith. Maybe the universe is testing you because you're not worthy. That's the lie the world has sold you. And it's a lie that keeps you trapped in the slave wave, in beta, in the frantic energy of lack. It's a lie that whispers in the dead of night. You are not enough, you are not seen, you are not heard. And the more you listen, the more real it feels. But what if I told you that the silence you're experiencing isn't a sign of your unworthiness? What if the reason you feel unheard isn't because the universe doesn't care, but because you've been cut off from the very frequency that connects you to it? This isn't some abstract spiritual idea. This is biology. This is neuroscience. This is the silent war being waged against your mind. And the key to freedom isn't just more effort. It's understanding the organ that's been damaged by a lifetime of stress, the organ that, when healthy, is your direct line to divine guidance, intuition, and the flow of abundance. That organ is your hippocampus. Your hippocampus isn't just a part of your brain, it's your God organ. It's the antenna that tunes you into the frequency of abundance, intuition, and divine guidance. Think of it as the cosmic receiver in your skull, the sacred bridge between your conscious mind and the infinite intelligence of the universe. When it's thriving, you move through life with a sense of ease, clarity, and synchronicity, like the universe is conspiring in your favor. But when it's damaged, that's when life starts to feel like a constant uphill battle, no matter how hard you try. And here's the hard truth: modern life is designed to shrink your hippocampus. Stress, debt, societal pressure, and the relentless noise of modern existence don't just weigh on your soul, they literally rewire your brain. Studies have shown that prolonged stress, financial instability, and trauma cause the hippocampus to atrophy, shrinking its neural connections and dulling its ability to perceive opportunity. It's like having a radio with a broken antenna. No matter how loud you turn up the signal, the music is still fuzzy, distorted, and barely audible. This isn't just a metaphor, it's a biological reality. When researchers studied the brains of prisoners of war, they found the same pattern. The hippocampus had shrunk significantly due to prolonged stress and trauma. The same thing happens to people trapped in cycles of poverty, to survivors of abuse, to anyone who spent years feeling like they're drowning in a world that doesn't hear them. Their brains physically change their ability to trust, to feel safe, to perceive abundance. It all diminishes. They exist in what's called the beta brainwave state, or the slave wave, where every thought feels like a battle, where money slips through their fingers like, and where peace feels like a luxury they can't afford. But here's where it gets interesting, and where the old paradigms start to crack. The wealthy don't get wealthy because they work harder. They don't get rich because they're smarter. They get wealthy because their brains operate in theta, the billionaire brain wave. Theta is the frequency of effortless flow, where ideas come like downloads, where money arrives without force, where life feels like a dance rather than a slog. It's the state where your intuition is sharp, where synchronicities happen effortlessly, where you move through the world with a sense of knowing that you are supported by something greater than yourself. The struggling middle class, they are trapped in beta, the frequency of struggle, the frequency that repels wealth even when it's right in front of them. This isn't an accident. This is a biological caste system enforced by generations of stress, trauma, and societal conditioning. Your brain isn't just a passive organ. It's a dynamic, adaptive system that molds itself to the environment it's exposed to. If you've spent your life in a state of lack, your brain adapts by locking you into that frequency. It's not your fault. It's not karma. It's biology. And the really insidious part, the systems that keep you trapped in beta want it this way. They profit from your struggle. Corporations know that when your brain is in beta, you're easy to manipulate, easy to control, easy to sell to. That's why they flood your life with distractions, with consumerism, with the illusion that happiness is something you can buy. That's why the news is designed to keep you in a state of fear, why social media algorithms feed you outrage and comparison, why the financial system is structured to keep you in a cycle of debt and stress. They don't want you to wake up. They don't want you to remember that you were born with the ability to hear the frequency of abundance. But you who are watching this right now, you are waking up. You're feeling the chains of beta loosening, even if just a little. That's your soul telling you the truth. You were never meant to struggle like this. You were never meant to feel like you're screaming underwater, unheard and unseen. That feeling in your chest, that tightness when you lie awake at night, wondering if anyone is listening. That's not a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that your hippocampus is calling out for help. Now let's talk about how we got here. How did your hippocampus become muted? How did the antenna in your brain that was designed to connect you to the infinite become so damaged that you can't even hear the whispers of your own intuition anymore. The answer lies in the cumulative effect of stress. Over time, every sleepless night worrying about bills, every moment of anxiety about your future, every time you felt like you were drowning in responsibilities with no lifeline in sight, every time you've been told that your struggles are a result of your own lack of effort or faith. These aren't just emotional wounds, they are literal biological injuries that reshape your brain. Take, for example, Sarah was a nurse in a busy urban hospital working 12-hour shifts 6 days a week. She was the kind of person who gave everything to her job, who stayed late to help patients, even when she was exhausted, who never said no when asked to cover extra shifts. She prayed every night, believing that if she just worked hard enough, if she just had enough faith, God would reward her with financial stability and peace. But no matter how much she gave, the universe seemed to respond with more struggle. She'd check her bank account and feel a wave of dread. She'd pray for guidance, but the answers felt distant, like static on a radio. She started to wonder if she was cursed, if she wasn't praying right, if she wasn't worthy. What Sarah didn't realize was that her hippocampus was shrinking. Years of chronic stress, of financial instability, of feeling like she was constantly running on empty, had literally rewired her brain. Her hippocampus, the organ that was supposed to help her perceive abundance and trust the universe, had atrophied. She was living in beta, the slave wave, where every thought felt like a battle, and every opportunity slipped through her fingers like. And then Sarah tried something different. She started using the 7-minute sound ritual. Within weeks, she noticed subtle shifts. Her sleep improved, her anxiety lessened, and most importantly, she started to feel like she was no longer screaming into a void. She started to feel like the universe was listening. This isn't just anecdotal, it's neuroscience. Studies have shown that sound frequencies can stimulate neurogenesis, the growth of new neurons in the hippocampus, when you expose your brain to specific sound waves. You're essentially jump-starting the regrowth of the organ that connects you to abundance, intuition, and divine guidance. It's like giving your brain a software update, rewiring it from beta to theta, from struggle to flow. But why does this work? Why do sound waves have the power to rewire your brain in such a profound way? The answer lies in the science of brainwave entrainment. Your brain operates at different frequencies depending on your state of mind. Beta is the frequency of stress, anxiety, and struggle, 14 to 30. HC, theta, is the frequency of flow, intuition, and effortless abundance, 4 to 8. HC. When you listen to specific sound frequencies, your brain naturally synchronizes to that frequency, a process known as entrainment. It's like tuning a radio to a specific station. If you're stuck in beta and you expose your brain to theta frequencies, your brain will naturally shift to match that state. This isn't some new age gimmick. It's a well-documented phenomenon in neuroscience. In the 1970s, Dr. Gerald Oster published a groundbreaking paper in Scientific American detailing how binaural beats to slightly different frequencies played in each ear could entrain brain waves to specific states. This technology has been used in clinical settings to treat anxiety, insomnia, and even chronic pain. But its most powerful application, rewiring the brain from beta to theta, from struggle to flow, the 7-minute sound ritual leverages this science to do something extraordinary. It rewires your brain in just 7 minutes a day, not to relax you, not to distract you, to liberate you. It's not a meditation track, it's a neurosurgical tool in disguise, using frequencies proven to regrow the hippocampus and restore theta dominance. This ritual does something no amount of prayer or hard work ever could. It changes your biology. Imagine waking up tomorrow and feeling a weight lifted from your chest. Imagine looking at your bank account and seeing unexpected deposits appear as if by magic. Imagine making decisions that feel guided by an intelligence greater than your own, where every choice leads you closer to your dreams instead of further away. This isn't wishful thinking. This is neuroscience. This is biology. This is your birthright. You were born with the ability to hear the frequency of abundance. You were born with a hippocampus designed to thrive, not to wither. The trauma of modern life didn't just weigh on your soul. It literally shrank the part of you that connects to God, to the universe, to the flow of infinite possibility. But now you have the power to reverse it. Let's talk about the systems that profit from your struggle. Because understanding this isn't just about healing your brain. It's about reclaiming your power in a world that wants to keep you trapped. Corporations have known about these frequencies for decades. They've used subliminal messaging, sound engineering, and even product placement to keep you in a state of distraction. And think about the last time you watched a commercial. The way the music swells, the way the colors pop, the way the message is designed to make you feel like you need something you didn't even know existed. This is all engineered to keep your brain in beta, to keep you focused on what you lack, not what you have. The financial system is another example. Ever notice how credit card companies and banks make it so easy to spend money you don't have? It's not an accident. They want you stressed, anxious, and desperate. Because desperate people make desperate decisions. They take out loans they can't afford. They buy things they don't need. They stay trapped in a cycle of debt because their brains are operating in beta, where fear and lack are the dominant frequencies. Even the news is designed this way. Every headline is crafted to trigger your amygdala, the part of your brain that governs fear. The more fear you feel, the more you consume, whether it's news, entertainment, or products. The more you consume, the more you're distracted from the truth that you have the power to rewire your brain and step into a life of abundance. But here's the secret they don't want you to know. You are not a victim of these systems. You are not powerless. You have the ability to rewire your brain, to shift from beta to theta, to step out of the cycle of struggle and into the flow of abundance. And the key to doing that is healing your hippocampus. Now let's talk about what healing your hippocampus actually looks like in practice. Because this isn't just about listening to a soundtrack for 7 minutes a day. It's about creating a new relationship with your mind, your body, and the universe. The first step is recognizing that the silence you've been experiencing isn't a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that your hippocampus is calling out for help. It's a sign that you've been cut off from the frequency of abundance for too long. And the good news, your brain is plastic. It can change it, can heal it, can regrow. The second step is committing to the ritual, not just once, not just for a week, but consistently. Neurogenesis, the growth of new neurons, takes time. But the research is clear. Even 7 minutes a day of targeted sound frequencies can stimulate significant changes in the hippocampus. It's like watering a plant. At first, you won't see the growth. But over time, with consistency, the roots take hold and the branches stretch toward the light. The third step is trusting the process. Because when you start to shift from beta to theta, it can feel disorienting at first. Your old patterns of thinking and behaving won't just disappear overnight. You might experience moments of doubt, moments where you wonder if this is all a placebo effect. But here's the truth. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a placebo and a real intervention when it comes to neuroplasticity. If you believe the ritual is working, your brain will adapt accordingly. And over time, the shifts will become undeniable. Let me give you another example. James was a small business owner who had spent years struggling to keep his company afloat. He'd tried everything: networking, marketing, even prayer. But no matter what he did, the money just wouldn't come. He started to believe that success was something reserved for other people, that he wasn't cut out for it. His stress levels were through the roof, and his sleep was terrible. He'd wake up in the middle of the night with his mind racing, wondering how he was going to make payroll. Then James tried the 7-minute sound ritual. At first, he was skeptical, but after a few weeks, he started to notice subtle changes. He felt calmer, more centered, and most importantly, he started to make decisions from a place of clarity. Rather than fear, he took a risk on a new marketing strategy. And within a month, his revenue doubled. He couldn't explain it. All he knew was that his brain felt different, like he'd finally tuned into the right frequency. This is the power of healing your hippocampus. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about aligning your brain with the frequency of abundance so that opportunities flow to you effortlessly. It's about stepping out of the slave wave and into the flow of theta, where life feels like a dance rather than a slog. But what about the deeper spiritual implications of this? Because healing your hippocampus isn't just about financial abundance. It's about reclaiming your connection to something greater than yourself. Think about the stories of saints, mystics, and spiritual teachers throughout history. Many of them describe experiences of divine connection, of receiving guidance from a higher power, of moving through the world with a sense of being led. What if the reason they were able to do that wasn't just because they were more spiritual than you or me? What if it was because their brains were operating in theta, in a state where they could perceive the subtle frequencies of the universe? The hippocampus is often referred to as the God organ because of its role in spiritual experiences. When it's thriving, it allows you to tune into the divine. When it's damaged, that connection feels lost. But here's the beautiful thing: healing your hippocampus isn't just about restoring your ability to perceive abundance. It's about restoring your ability to perceive the sacred. Imagine waking up tomorrow and feeling a sense of awe at the beauty of the world around you. Imagine making decisions that feel guided by an intelligence greater than your own. Imagine feeling like you're not just a random speck in the universe, but a co-creator in the grand tapestry of existence. This is what's possible when you heal your hippocampus. This is what's possible when you step out of beta and into theta. This is what's possible when you remember that you were never meant to struggle like this. Now let's talk about the practical steps you can take to start this process today. Because understanding the science is one thing, taking action is another. The first step is to commit to the 7-minute sound ritual. This isn't just another meditation track, it's a neurosurgical tool designed to rewire your brain in 7 minutes a day. Click the link in the description. Download the ritual, make it a non-negotiable part of your morning or evening routine. The second step is to create a space for this ritual. Find a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. Light a candle, play soft music in the background. Create an environment that signals to your brain, this is sacred time. This is time for healing. The third step is to trust the process. There will be days when you don't feel like it's working. There will be days when you wonder if you're just wasting your time. But remember this, your brain is changing. Even when you can't see it, the neural pathways are rewiring. The hippocampus is regrowing. The theta waves are rising. You are not the same person you were a month ago. You are stepping into a new frequency. The fourth step is to pay attention to the synchronicities. When you start to shift from beta to theta, the universe will start to respond in kind. You'll notice more coincidences, more opportunities, more moments where it feels like the universe is conspiring in your favor. This isn't magic. It's biology. It's the result of your brain operating in a higher frequency. But let's address the elephant in the room. What if this doesn't work for you? What if you try the ritual and nothing changes? What if you're one of the people who feels like they've tried everything and nothing has stuck? First, I want to acknowledge that pain. I know what it's like to feel like you're screaming into a void, like no matter what you do, the universe isn't listening. But here's the truth, the ritual does work. The science is clear. The results are real. But healing isn't linear. It's not a straight line from struggle to abundance. It's a journey with ups and downs, with moments of breakthrough and moments of doubt. If you're not seeing results yet, don't give up, keep going. The hippocampus is a slow healing organ. It takes time for the neurons to regrow. It takes time for the new pathways to solidify. But if you commit to the ritual, if you trust the process, if you give it time, you will see changes. You will start to feel the weight lifting from your chest. You will start to feel like the universe is finally listening. And if you're still skeptical, that's okay. Skepticism isn't the enemy. Curiosity is the first step toward transformation. Try the ritual for 30 days. Give it a real shot. And if at the end of that time you don't feel any different, then walk away. But I promise you this, if you do the work, you will see results. So what's the bottom line? The deep reason you feel stuck isn't because you lack effort or faith. It's because your hippocampus has been muted by a lifetime of stress. And without this organ functioning at full capacity, you can't hear the frequency of miracles you're trying to manifest with a broken receiver. And of course, it's not working, but there's hope. There's always been hope. The power to rewire your brain, to step out of beta, to step into theta. It's been inside you, all along. You just need the right tool to unlock it. The 7-minute sound ritual isn't just another product. It's not a quick fix or a magic trick. It's a neurosurgical tool in disguise, a way to bypass the years of stress and trauma that have muted your hippocampus. It's a way to reclaim your birthright, the ability to hear the frequency of abundance, to trust the universe, to move through life with ease and grace. You were born with this power. You were born with a hippocampus designed to thrive. The trauma of modern life didn't just weigh on your soul. It literally shrank the part of you that connects to God, to the universe, to the flow of infinite possibility. But now you have the power to reverse it. The sound wave is waiting for you. It's not a product, it's a blessing. It's not a purchase, it's a liberation. Click the link in the description. Right now, start the ritual. Reclaim your birthright. Your hippocampus is waiting to regrow. Your theta wave is waiting to rise. Your life of ease is waiting to unfold. Don't let another night pass where you wake up with your heart pounding, wondering why the universe hasn't heard you. The universe has been waiting for you to remember how to listen. Click the link. Start the ritual. Reclaim your birthright.